Hello again. I wonder if anybody still remembers the attempted hijacking of Britain's Labour Party by Trotskyite revolutionaries a few years ago. This is, of course, known as entryism and has been a recurring theme in that party for years, most notably under Michael Foot in the early 1980s, although we saw a resurgence of the idea when Jeremy Corbyn became leader. Precisely the same thing has been happening with the Green Party. But because everybody is scared of being accused of Islamophobia these days, nobody is like to draw any attention to it. Some people have been a little puzzled as to how a party which is so fanatically concerned about the welfare of animals, and indeed officially urges us all to become vegetarians, can possibly allow candidates who represent it to be champions of halal slaughter. Such hideous hypocrisy is always a delight to observe. It will be remembered that in 2019, Jonathan Barclay, who was at that time the leader of the Green Party, said publicly that he wished to ban halal slaughter. There was a lot of fuss, and he was, of course, duly denounced for Islamophobia. Last November, in preparation for the local elections which were held earlier this month, the Greens decided to scrap one or two policies. The Green Party in Wales abandoned their policy of opposing slaughter of animals without first being stunned. They said that this was being done without prejudice towards minority religious and cultural groups, which in this case is code for Muslims and Jews, who often do not stun animals before cutting their throats. What had brought about this abrupt change just at that time, that is to say, in early November 2023? It is very simple. 2 weeks before that, an organisation called Muslim Census, run by Muslims, had polled the voting intentions of British Muslims. They found that in the 2019 general election, over 70% of Muslims had voted Labour, and just 2% had voted for the Green Party. After the massacres in Israel, though, and what many felt to be a pro-Zionist stance of the Labour Party, fewer than 5% still intended to vote Labour. 17%, on the other hand, now said that they would vote for the Green Party. Sensing an opportunity, the Greens began frantically backpedalling on the question of animal welfare, realising that this might discourage some Muslims from supporting them. I'm guessing, although I cannot say for sure, that they also decided to adopt a softer line on anti-Semitism. I say this because even the most cursory glance through the social media accounts of some of the Muslim candidates that the Green Party allowed to stand for them in the local elections would have revealed some pretty damning stuff. The bottom line is that the Green Party are now playing kiss in the ring with a bunch of religious fanatics who have not the least interest in anything at all that the Greens stand for, but rather see them as a way of getting Islamists into position of influence in certain local authorities, and of course ultimately getting into Parliament by standing for the Green Party in some place such as Bradford or Leeds. The Greens are excited at what they see as a resurgence on the part of their party, and they're confident that they can keep control of the narrative and that these mad fanatics will mellow a little and start living on nut cutlets rather than slaughtering animals in the halal fashion. I am enjoying watching these gullible cranks being exploited in this way by ruthless and determined men who could not give a stuff about anything the Greens believe in. As usual, I give links in the description to this video to items which illustrate the points about which I've been talking.